First of all, I'd like to thank Sir for providing me the opportunity to speak, and a very good morning to all of you. So speaking of my A-level life, it's not a typically, I won't call it a smooth A-level life like many of the others here, because when I started A-levels, I didn't really need to be a doctor. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want 3A's. I didn't want anything, to be frank. When I started A-levels, really, I couldn't even decide if I should do bio or math. So then the first day I came to Sir's class, Sir gave us two questions to answer. The first was, why am I doing bio, and what's my dream? And I think I wrote a huge essay for that. And but still at the end of it, I still had no clear aim, which was strange, because everyone who came to the class, they had different aims and different dreams, but I was this goalless person sitting there. And but at that time, Sir reassured me a lot, saying that there had been similar people in the past, and that he told me to just do what I do at my best, and that's actually what I started doing afterwards. So I actually transitioned to Ananda from Vidura after O-levels, and when I get there, really, I had that vibe of transition to Colombo school, and I saw the opportunities that I had. Not in education, mostly in terms of co-curricular and sports. And the first year, actually, I started indulging a lot in those things. I joined, 5 societies, and education sort of became like the co-curricular then. And my mainstream was actually sports and stuff. I started to play basketball and did all sorts of things in school. And to be frank, the first year of my A-levels wasn't the best. But I did bio because I was afraid of it, because I couldn't memorize stuff. I could understand everything Sir said, but I couldn't memorize the resource book. And the first year, actually, I was fighting with myself, asking and questioning myself if this was right, this system where we have to by heart something and write it on the paper, which I did not think was a sign of genius IQ. So the first year went like this, and I don't really want to go into the depths of the miseries that I had to face. But somewhere about December 2023, I understood that things were not going well. So why I'm saying this is because most people think that you need to start very well and maintain that steady streak throughout the 2.5 years. Well, it's okay even if your start was bad. What I'm saying is, if you could, make some pivotal changes, even mid-course, definitely you can have a good end. So it's okay if you are not getting like the best marks or your dream mark right now. If you make those pivotal changes right now, I'd say the earlier you make those changes, the easier your journey is going to be. In my case, the instance when Tarak's paper class started was when that pivotal change happened. That was when I actually, for me it was like someone flicked a switch in my brain, and Sir gave that introductory speech the day the paper class started, and that sort of like brainwashed me to start working harder. And by then I think it was January or February of 2024, and that's when I actually started to work. But still, you can't actually, people put YouTube videos saying that in the last 3 months they started to work 15 hours all of a sudden. I don't think that sudden transition is actually possible. For me, I actually started working for like 1 or 2 hours per day about 8 to 10 months before the exam. That was my usual thing. I did the homework in the class, but I actually gave a huge weight for bio because I was afraid of it, because that was, I felt like that was my weakest subject. And physics wasn't that hard for me, though it was for the others, so I didn't give much weight to physics, and I didn't like chemistry much. So that was like it was fine, but I didn't actually score much for that. Bio marks wasn't very good either. I wasn't this star performer all the time, but I was, a bit within the top 5 of the school in term tests. So then that was when I actually started working, and the paper class was when I really started to work, to be honest. And when this class for me was like the backbone class. Because why I call it the backbone class was because this class was like sort of like the backbone for me. Because why I improved in other subjects is because I started to work in bio, and that sort of like extended to other subjects eventually. And then I started working for physics, and I started working for chemistry. And every time I went down, Sir used to give these periodic motivational speeches about his own experiences, how he did A-levels and what he've seen. And unlike most people, I actually took all those words to heart. I don't know why, but it always hit me. And all of those drops turn out into, I'd say, big leaps because of those advices that Sir gave periodically and because I listened to them. And what I'm saying is that most of these students, even in my batch, they did not trust Sir, to be honest. When Sir, he used to give us lots of this extra information. Even he might be doing it definitely for you all too. That's why there's blanks in this tudes of his. That is because of a reason. Because the resource book is not a complete guideline, to be honest. For me, the resource book is like an incomplete jigsaw puzzle. And those blanks are actually the missing pieces which Sir fills for you. So don't take them for granted, because they actually build the complete picture in bio. And since I couldn't by heart or memorize stuff, I always relied a lot on that full picture that Sir gave through his explanations and through diagrams. And always the diagram was what was in my head. When I was even actually was stronger for bio MCQs and was like crap at essays and structured essays. Even in A-levels, I remember for MCQs I got like 47 or something, but my essay was not very good because I was actually expecting really to score on MCQs, and they said it didn't turn out very well. But still, since I followed everything Sir said, bio turned out to be the best subject for me, even though I felt like it was my weakest subject. When it came to A-levels, I performed the best in biology. So that is why I'm saying trust Sir and trust all those extra information Sir gives you. Because if you looked at the 2024 A-level biology paper, you'll understand that most people say it's like there's a huge twist inside the paper. Most people say that that is why most people failed bio and most people have low results for bio this time in around the country. The reason is because of that twist. Because I felt like this time the bio paper turned out to be more of a thinking paper rather than a by heart and write paper. So that huge shift in bio happened in our year. That is what I personally feel. And since I followed everything Sir said, I was equipped to face it. Whereas all the other students in Sri Lanka were not, most of them. And most of the other people back then, they were telling me, even like people who came to this class, some of them, they did not actually trust Sir. They were always telling me, by heart the resource book, don't, these tudes, the extra information, they never come and all. But still, for me, the top priority was Sir's tudes, because I always relied so much on that beautiful picture that Sir showed us. For me, learning biology was actually learning its true essence, not learning to the paper. And the resource book was like a supplementary material. Like when I felt like, okay, I had to by heart this chunk, I'd flip into that page in the resource book and by heart that part. But when I want to learn something, I'd never look at the resource book, because how can you possibly learn everything through that incomplete jigsaw puzzle? That's when I actually always went to Sir's tudes. So apart from that, there's nothing much I have to add. What I have to say is, it's okay completely to follow the resource book, it's fine, but please give your priority to Sir's tudes when you are learning. Because in the learning phase, I don't really believe the resource book is a good learning material. So prioritize on Sir's tudes in the learning phase until you understand the complete picture and listen to what Sir's doing. And Sir's papers were top notch. I mean, for me, the biggest target was getting 40, because I think no one easily got 40. And then some people started getting 40, I started getting 40, and then it was 45. And I think that's the maximum I've hit. So I'll guarantee you, if you can manage to hit like 45 for Sir's MCQ papers, I don't think you'll have to worry about your A-level MCQ at all. So that's all I have to add to everything that they've said. And I wish you all the best.